Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite drugstore foundations, and my previous video before this was actually my favorite high-end foundations. I wanted to separate it because some people just want to see drugstore, some just want to see high-end, or some want to see both but you kind of just want to separate. Like I ain't got the time to watch both at once and it'd probably be a little bit too long. So this is the drugstore version. I will link the high-end version down below in my description box if you want to check that one out, if you just prefer high-end, or if you just want to ball out a little bit and check out the high-end versions. But for my drugstore versions, my favorite ones, I've got a couple, and I also have some tinted moisturizers, BB creams in the mix as well if you prefer that, because sometimes I do. So my first one that I want to talk about, this is the Revlon Colorstay foundation. This is the liquid version. They've got a couple different Colorstay foundations, but to show you the bottle, this is the one. And what I love about this foundation is they have two different versions. The one that I love is for dry to normal skin, and then the other one is for oily to normal skin. I love the fact that it's like, okay, they came out of foundation, because I hate it when, brands come out like, oh my god, this amazing new foundation launch. P.S. It's only for oily skin, or it's made for oily skin, or it's just matte. I'm like, why can't you just, be like Revlon? We have this great foundation. We have a version for dry skin, and we have a version for oily skin. Everybody wins, Wouldn't that be great? And you get a foundation, and you get a foundation, and everybody gets a foundation. Yeah, I wish. Can't all drugstore and high-end brands be like Oprah? Wouldn't that be great? Anyway, I love this foundation. This is definitely one of the first, second, third ones I tried, and I love the coverage. You can definitely get a good medium and you can build it up to a full coverage foundation. The finish of this foundation is more of a natural satin finish, so if you're someone who has like dry or normal skin and you don't like the dewiness and you don't like the luminosity, but you want something that's going to be hydrating and not dry your skin out if you have dry skin like me, this is definitely a great one. If you just want that, just natural finish, it's not going to look too matte, it's not going to like, strick up and, kind of make your skin feel really, really tight, which is what matte foundations kind of feel like on dry skin. You know what I'm talking about, right? If you're dry skin. But this is definitely one of those. So if you want to steer clear of dewy luminous, check out this one. You're really, this is a great everyday foundation. And honestly, my biggest fear of this one was that it was going to feel too heavy, because the coverage is really, really great, but it does not feel too heavy. It doesn't feel cakey. If you want to build it up, you gotta steer clear any foundation. Don't build up too much because you can get cakey with any foundation. But honestly, 1 to 2 layers max I feel like is all you need for this foundation, and I always end up going back to it. A tinted moisturizer that I love, and I honestly was never into BB creams, tinted moisturizers. I think not until I started working like 9 to 5 regularly, because I realized like I don't have that much time to blend or do much in the morning, so I need something quick but that's going to give me coverage, it's going to even out skin tone. So that's where I love tinted moisturizers and BB creams, and that's why I kind of wanted to include them in this video, because some people that's just their norm, that's as high as they go with coverage. One that I love so much is the Sonia Kashuk. This is the tinted moisturizer. It's a radiant tinted moisturizer, so I love the healthy natural. It's like a natural healthy glow that it gives to the skin. It looks like your skin, but just like, ooh, you have a nice little aura about you type of thing, but it's like, oh, it's just me. But I love it. You can definitely keep this for a natural no makeup day, or you can even wear this like and build it up for some of your more glam looks. So this is really versatile product. It's crazy how you can go from 0 to 100 really quick, but I love this. And I was surprised, especially I wasn't surprised. I saw that it was radiant, so it definitely drew my eye, but I would see a lot more like oily skin girls use it, so I was like, how am I gonna like this for my dry skin? I really love this for my dry skin. So I feel like dry to normal, who knows, maybe oily skin, you might like this one for a really great tinted moisturizer, especially if you have no time in the morning to get ready but you want to kind of put yourself together. Tinted moisturizers are definitely my favorite, and I love, for me, because I am a full coverage girl, I love the fact that this does have coverage on there, and you can build up some coverage, or you can just keep minimal, but it still looks amazing. If you want a dewy foundation, one of my favorites is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and this is actually their original formula foundation. They have one, Maybelline Fit Me, the matte and poreless. That's the newer one that they came out for oily skin, and I love the way I bought that one for my sister to check out, because I was like, I want to see if the hype is real about this foundation. Let me check this out on your skin. It looks beautiful on your skin. I was like, ooh, yes. So that's for you. this one's for me. This, I like now that they put dewy plus smooth. I feel like all foundations should probably put some sort of hint of like, okay, this is going to be a dewy finish, a luminous finish, matte finish. And not until they came out the matte poreless, they started advertising this specifically, dewy plus smooth, because a lot of girls were giving it bad reviews, but that's because they were oily skin, and of course they're not going to like the dewy. Very rarely do the oily skin girls like the dewy. So I was like, you know what, let me check it out for dry skin. And I was like, I have been missing out for years on this foundation. You can definitely build this up light coverage to medium coverage, maybe even get kind of full coverage. I think light medium max I feel like is a really great coverage. I will link down below the review and demo that I did of this foundation for you guys. So if you want to check it out, I would definitely check this out. It's really lightweight on the face, and it just, like, honestly, it just feels so refreshing on the face because it's so super duper dewy. So if that's what you're going for, you need to check out the Maybelline Fit Me dewy and smooth version. Back to the BB creams, one that I really like is the Burts Bees BB cream. I think this was a new one for 2016, and I actually did a review and demo on this BB cream. I will link down below in the description bar. One thing I hate about BB creams and tinted moisturizer is kind of like their lack of color selection. A lot of BB creams, they do like 3 colors, like light, medium, maybe not even deep, you know. But I was able to find my color light / medium. I think it was a great color for me, but I love this one because it was really hydrating. It just feels so good on the skin. It glides on, it blends out beautifully. So if you're like normal to dry skin, I think you'll really like this one. It's like a nice light coverage, but if I want to add another little layer, it'll give it like a medium-ish, light to medium-ish. It just covers everything, but it still feels really lightweight on the skin. So if you love BB creams, I think this is a great one that they came out with, the Burts Bees one. So check out their review and demo for some more information. Another BB cream that I really like, but I actually went through it and I finished it, and I'll put a picture of it right here. It's the Maybelline BB cream. They have 2 versions. They have the first one that has like brown and pink on it, and then the one I'm talking about is like white with like the teal-ish, you know, type of blues on there. I love that one for dry skin, and I know a lot of people with oily skin were not really liking it because they're like, ooh, it makes me a little bit too oily, it's a little bit too moisturizing for me. I was like, let me try that out, and I loved it. So if you're dry skin, check out that BB cream, and then I will link down below the review and demo I did on that one. It's definitely a light coverage. You can add on maybe a little bit more just to give you a little bit more coverage. But right off the bat, I love the way that it glides onto the skin and how it feels on the skin. A second foundation that I also went through, and I don't have a picture for you guys, but I'll put one right here, is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation. That was a new foundation for 2016, and I will link down below the review and demo, the in-depth review and demo that I did for you guys in the description bar. I love that so much. I had never really tried cushion foundations, but that was the best thing ever, especially if you are someone on the go. If maybe you do your makeup on the train, you know, you have no time to do it at home, you're kind of doing it on a rush. I love that for carrying in my makeup bag because it's so compact. It has the little cushion and the little pad in there, so all you have to do is kind of like close it and open it and just pat it around your face, especially if you're doing this like on a cramped train or bus where like you can't get a beauty blender or a brush and, you know, look through your bag. This is all in one. You can put it in the palm of your hand. It's got the mirror right there, and this is just a great on the go, and you can have the lightest coverage, or you can have a good light to medium coverage and really build it up if you want to go in with a brush or something. But I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of a cushion foundation. Why not just use the actual foundation? That's just me. But I love it if you're constantly on the go. You need to check out the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation, and the finish of it is just like the regular True Match Lumi, except I just feel like it's just a travel friendly version. I cannot rave about that foundation more. Check out the link below so you can hear me rave about it even more. Another favorite of mine is the Milani Conceal Imperfect 2-in-1 foundation. This was actually also a new release for 2016. 2016 was doing it with foundations for me. I found a lot of great new discoveries, and I love this one so much. If you are a medium to full coverage type of girl like me, if you love coverage, you are going to love this foundation so much. It's definitely of a thicker consistency, so less is more with this foundation. If you don't want full on super duper coverage, definitely just dot it a little bit around the face and blend out for there, and it will go for miles. I love the fact that it comes with a pump that it's drugstore, and the fact that it's $10 and it comes with the pump, and the coverage is amazing. I will link down below the review and demo that I did of this foundation because I go on and on and on about it on there. I was just so impressed when I first tried it. I was in love, and I honestly love every time I put on this foundation. This is definitely a foundation where I get compliments where I wear this foundation. I wear makeup all the time and I'm just like, oh hi. But this one, I definitely, like, one of those like where you don't expect it. Like, I did like my 5-minute makeup and I put on this foundation. I was like, oh my god, what do you have on your face? I was like, well, let me tell you, it's drugstore, $10, affordable, and thank you. I'm glad you think it looks amazing because I love it. It's definitely a really nice, natural, healthy glow. The finish isn't dewy, the finish isn't super luminous. It's a nice natural finish, but with a natural glow. It just looks like, yeah, you're just glowing naturally, and it doesn't look like too oily on my face. I know there's like hit or miss for some oily skin people, but for dry skin, I definitely recommend this foundation. Some people are saying it's like a matte finish. It's like, oh hell no, it's not a matte finish. If it was a matte finish, I would not like this whatsoever. It's just a really nice, natural, glowy, natural glow finish. For my drugstore foundations, I would definitely say my number one is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation. This has been my favorite and still my favorite. I love the fact that it comes with a pump. A lot of people really like the regular L'Oreal True Match, and I think that's great for all skin types. So if you want to check that out, if you're more on the oily to normal side, but if you are dry skin, you just know you just need a little hints of luminosity, more moisture, more hydration, and this delivers that. So this is just like a step up from the regular True Match if you are dry skin. This just looks so, it's not dewy, it's not super dewy. I do like my dewy foundations, but I feel like I prefer, if I had to choose between dewy and luminous, I would choose luminous, because luminous is just a little bit more natural. You can kind of pull it off as like, oh, is that your skin type of a foundation. You can definitely make it look like skin. You can definitely build it up. Normally I am a full coverage, medium to full coverage type of girl, and sometimes with this foundation I just like how light it is, so I can layer it on and then get that more fuller coverage and still get it looking a little bit natural, so it can cover imperfections but still like not look too cakey no matter how much you apply. This competes a little bit with my drugstore, competes with the Milani Conceal Imperfect, but it wins because that luminosity. I love the Milani Conceal Imperfect for the coverage, but I love the luminosity, and I feel like a lot of times more luminous, dewy foundations are definitely on the lighter coverage side, but if you love both, you should mix both. That's actually the combination that I'm wearing on my face today, that I have been wearing for quite a while now, and every time I do it I love it so much. So if you love medium to full coverage and you love luminosity, check out this one. And the fact that they're drugstore, these two together are probably my favorite. But if I had to just choose one, I would definitely go for the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. Also, this competes with my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I love the Giorgio Armani so much, but Giorgio Armani is $62, and honestly, like, I love it. I'm glad that I tried it. I fell in love with it. I kind of hate that I tried it because I fell in love with it, but if I had to choose, I would definitely probably still go back to my Lumi, given the fact that it's about $11 and I can repurchase this over and over again without feeling super guilty every time. So honestly, if I didn't have the Giorgio Armani anymore, I'd be okay, because it's like, you know what, I have the L'Oreal and I can get along just with that. I feel like the Giorgio Armani, it has like the coverage is just a little bit more, but honestly I can build this up, and if I had to choose, I'd be okay with just my Lumi one. So for right now, I would say this is definitely a #1 foundation. This is a go-to for, if I had to choose my drugstore go-to, this would definitely be a drugstore go-to. But that Milani one is coming in. It's there. Together, combined the two though, perfection. So those are my favorite drugstore foundations, and I also included BB creams and tinted moisturizers, and I have options. There's 8 different ones because depending on my mood, what the weather's like, I prefer a lighter, a medium, a fuller coverage, what the occasion is. It kind of differs for me, but as well as I give you guys options, because some people might prefer the full coverage, some people prefer the lighter, some people prefer the BB creams or the tinted moisturizers. So just depending on what your preference preferences, because honestly whenever someone's asking me, it's like, oh, what foundation should I try? I was like, well, what do you prefer? Light, medium, full coverage? What type of skin do you have? You know, what, you know, do you like to go more on the go? There's so many questions to cover, so kind of think of those questions that you have and think which ones kind of suit your needs. I will as well link down below in the description box my high-end version. If you know, you feel like I've tried so many drugstore, I definitely want to check out Sephora, Ulta, you know, check out some high-end ones and spend a little bit more money, treat myself, because you know you should treat yourself every once in a while. Check out that video. Let me know what are your guys' favorite drugstore foundations, because I know there's plenty more to try out, and this list may change, you know, in like 1 or 2 or 3 years whenever I decide to refilm this as well. I definitely like to add new ones, and I look forward to new ones coming out, you know, from different brands. So let me know what you guys think so I can add some to my list. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with some more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.